I'm Grant Pemberton. I'm the clinical director here at Cherish Families. We have a small clinical team. There's 4 clinicians total. A big part of what we do is we contract our other therapist agencies throughout the state of Utah, Arizona, and Nevada. There's about 10 of those agencies, and they're all required to be culturally aware, culturally trained. For right now, it's just over a 5-hour training, but we provide CEUs for those agencies. So if a client doesn't intake here at Cherish Families, then we find a clinician that fits them. Our model is really to meet people where they're at. I'll get questions sometimes if we're trying to get people out of plural families or into plural families, and it's not really important to us. Their own well-being is what's important, and then we just kind of take that journey with them. We like to be able to educate people what a plural family may or may not look like, because there's probably some stereotypes behind that, just like any other probably marginalized population, I'd say at this point. My background, in my 20s and into my 30s, I did a lot of construction. I was a framing contractor and then a general contractor. I opened a boys ranch for a short time there. It was part of my dream, part of my goal. And we opened it for 10 to 13-year-old boys who had some trouble in their lives, and we wanted to come out to this 40-acre farm and learn to work. After that, I went back into construction, and with the recession, I decided to go back to school and work on becoming a therapist. It was something I had an interest in high school. During that time, I worked with the deaf and hard of hearing community, so I'm fluent in American Sign Language. I felt like that was another marginalized population, and there's some similarities in what I do now and what I did then. One thing is it's easy for people from outside these communities to say, we know what has to happen inside the community. And so there's a lot of, we're gonna do it for you without you, that happens. And being a white middle-aged male, I think sometimes it could be a new concept or new idea that I don't boss people around. We don't believe in that. We believe that they know what's best with their life, and if they're willing to talk about it and work through those things, then we'll take the journey with them, albeit maybe a painful journey sometimes. But the nice thing is we don't have to take on that pain. We're not the ones given what they're given, and we believe that those people have the tools to deal with what they're going through, and we just kind of need to do it with them. So I wouldn't tell somebody I know what's better, not on purpose anyway. I think it's ironic that all of our lives as humans can be in shambles, and yet we know what's best for someone else, and we all have our stuff, right? So when I did go back to school, became a therapist, worked for the deaf and hard of hearing community, I met Stacy Heaps, who's had a contract with Cherish Families for a long time, and worked with her therapy group. Just very positive energy, great people. And then as I looked for more, the population just seemed to really resonate with me. It made a lot of sense, maybe because of my background, or I don't know, probably more like who I am than my background, I'd say, and maybe that goes together. But yeah, working with Stacy in this population, I end up learning that there's a clinical director position open out here. I always wanted to live rural, so got some acreage out this way, and this is a job pretty close to my house, especially for being in a rural community. And I really click well with our staff. I believe they might say something different, but before I came on with them, they asked me to come to their company retreat and teach a yoga class for them. I'm a yoga instructor, or certified yoga instructor, and that went well, and I guess they thought I'd be a good part of their team. So yeah, so I actually got an offer.